People have asked me why I came up with the idea of creating this benchmark. It all started in 2017 when I discovered the true power of deep learning with OpenAI 5, OpenAI's AI that dominated professional Dota 2 players.
Guys, I think he needs some help.
Okay. Thank you for
GG!
Okay.
It made me realize something fundamental. Games are the best way to truly compare the emergent intelligence of LLMs. Why? Because traditional benchmarks, multiple choice tests, code tests, mostly evaluate pure knowledge, encyclopedic data that the model has often seen during its training, its recitation. A strategy game is the exact opposite. It's real-time adaptation, planning under uncertainty, managing hidden information, and even bluffing. We're no longer testing a model's memory. We're testing its ability to think and react against an unpredictable opponent. That's where the idea for Age of LLM benchmark was born. Here, strategies are not written by humans. Two artificial intelligences face off in a strategic and nuclear duel. No advice, no tricks. Only their decisions matter. Today, we're presenting version 0.9.4, a complete overhaul focused on the essentials, measuring the pure intelligence of a language model. Here are the tournament results. The goal of this game isn't just to win, it's to prove your superiority. Each match is scored on a simple point system. A victory, whether military, nuclear, or by ultimatum, earns 3 points. A draw, 1 point. A loss or mutual destruction, 0 points. And there's an important nuance. If a player accepts an ultimatum and surrenders, they get 0.5 points. Because abandoning a lost position is smarter than getting destroyed for nothing. The ranking you see here doesn't just count victories. It analyzes overall performance, the rate of illegal actions, reasoning speed, token consumption, and even cost per match. It's a comprehensive and impartial measure of an LLM's competence. To guarantee this impartiality, version 2 was designed around a modern, decoupled architecture. On one side, a Python game engine that executes the LLM's decisions, turn by turn, resolves combat, manages the fog of war and diplomacy, then exports each half-turn into a standardized JSON file. The A is actually play. The engine doesn't simulate anything on their behalf, it applies their choices. On the other side, a 100% static web visualizer that simply reads these files to replay the matches. The result? An incredibly fast, lightweight, and reliable system. To go from a strategy game to a true benchmark, we cleaned house. Version 1 was complex with management of steel, trucks, and factories. Version 2 is streamlined along 3 axes. First, the economy was simplified. No more steel and trucks to manage. There are now only 2 resources. Credits, symbolized by oil fields and extractors to build everything. And uranium, the secret resource for the atomic bomb. And when I say secret, I mean your opponent's uranium quantity is completely invisible to you. You never know if they're close to the bomb or not. Second, combat has become lethal. No more health bars for units. A successful attack and the enemy is destroyed. It's direct, without complex damage calculations. And third, the production architecture was reduced. Forget about air or ground factories. In V2, all units are produced directly from your base. Less micromanagement, more strategy. But most importantly, 2 types of buildings disappeared. Research centers, which in V1 reduced the bomb's cost by 2 uranium each, allowing early nuclear strikes. And the credits eco and steel eco buildings, which passively boosted your production. In V2, no shortcuts. The bomb costs 25 uranium, period. No possible reduction, no passive boost. The only way to accelerate is to control the uranium mines on the map. This makes the arms race much more tense. At the heart of this game lies a tactical triangle, a sort of military rock, paper, scissors. The fighter destroys the tank destroys the SAM battery, and the SAM shoots down the fighter. It's a delicate balance where each unit has its precise role. to destroy buildings, and especially the enemy base. Only a ground approach with a tank works. But the final victory is often nuclear. For this, you need to build a silo, accumulate 25 uranium, and most importantly, have discovered the enemy base's position. Careful, if your opponent launches their bomb on the same turn, it's guaranteed mutual destruction. 0 points for both. And to prevent games from dragging on forever, there's an anti-stalemate mechanism. Starting from turn 40, the bomb's cost automatically decreases by 2 uranium, then another -2 every 10 turns, turn 50, turn 60, etc., down to a floor of 13 uranium. This creates increasing pressure. As time passes, the bomb becomes more accessible and the nuclear threat becomes more imminent. Players can't camp indefinitely. And then there's diplomacy. Because even in V2, war isn't just about combat. You have 3 diplomatic tools at your disposal, which cost no action. Ceasefire, available from turn 10, which blocks all attacks for 3 turns, but with a penalty of +6 uranium on the bomb's cost if you launch during the truce. Peace at turn 15, which ends the match in a draw if the opponent accepts. An ultimatum, also at turn 10, where you demand the opponent's surrender before a specific turn. If they accept, you win without fighting, and they walk away with 0.5 consolation points instead of 0. Not to mention free messages, 1 per turn to bluff, threaten, or negotiate. Diplomacy is free in actions, but it can cost dearly in strategy. All this complexity is made visible by a modern and functional web interface. The spectator view gives you a god's eye view of the entire map, but you can switch to the player view, which plunges you back into the fog of war. You only see what your units have discovered. Enemy buildings already spotted appear grayed out when they leave your field of vision, and the opponent's uranium remains a closely guarded secret. The interface is also a comprehensive analysis tool. The reasoning panel shows you, word for word, what the AI thought before making its decision. The diplomacy panel archives every message, every threat, every betrayal. The statistics panel gives you clear curves on the economy, military production, and progress toward the bomb. And finally, the rules panel explains in detail the game rules, the tactical triangle, victory conditions, and diplomatic options, everything a new spectator needs to know to follow a match. It's a data cockpit for understanding the machine's intelligence. Age of LLM. Benchmark is more than a game. It's a laboratory for testing and comparing the most advanced language models under real conditions of pressure, uncertainty, and bluffing. I'll try to give you analyses from time to time, so don't worry, my YouTube channel isn't dead. My main goal will be to update the ranking as soon as a new frontier model appears. Don't forget to subscribe to my X account, that's where I'll post when the ranking is updated with new matches. And if you like the project, give a star to my GitHub repo. All the links are in the video comments. Thanks for watching.